With chess, it is an ancient game with its heritage being connected with that of ancient means of warfare. But as time progresses, society has changed along with the means by which it engages in warfare. So if a game that is meant to present warfare in an abstract means of play, shouldn't it also change with the times as well? Greetings and welcome back to Checkpoint Gaming, Chess. With this episode, we will be going over Lenh. With Lenh, it was developed by Nguyen Quy Hai, a colonel of the Vietnamese military, and he fused elements of modern warfare with that of Xiangqi. Because of this, it relies heavily upon logic of battle contingencies, with some pieces being able to carry other pieces, engage in certain attacks that involve multiple moves, and situations involving that of air and sea assaults. When playing the game, it is done upon an 11 by 12 line board. With the setup of the board, the C is located to the left of one player and right to the other, with this C spanning the first two files. With the game's objective, it is to either capture the commander, both Air Force pieces, both Navy pieces, or all 6 of the land pieces. With the land pieces, they consist of both infantry pieces, both artillery pieces, and both tanks. Talk about having a lot of options to claim victory. Let's just hope that no player engages in Operation Rolling Thunder and lose the conflict. And since the commander, air power, navy, and land power are essential in this game, if a player loses one of these pieces, then they have essentially lost the entire battle. Talk about being cut off at the knees. With the game's pieces, there's a total of 38 of them, with each player possessing 19 of them. Each player will have 1 commander, 2 infantry, 2 tanks, 1 militia, 2 engineers, 2 artillery, 2 anti-aircraft gun, 1 missile, 2 Air Force, 2 Navy, and 2 headquarter pieces. With the commander, it can move any number of points straight along the lines as long as the lines are unobstructed. But with that said, it can only capture through a single step along the lines found upon the board. It's able to cross the river, enter a headquarters, and it can't cross an unobstructed line that has the opposing commander on said line. The commander's point count is also that of 100. With the infantry, it can move 1 step along any line found upon the board, with its capture capability being the same as that of its movement. It's able to move across the river, and its point count is that of 10. With the tank, it can move 1 or 2 steps along the lines found upon the board, with its capture capability being the same as its movement. In addition to this, it's able to capture a piece found in the sea without moving. It's able to cross the river to capture at sea as its movement, but in the situation where it captures in the sea, the tank doesn't move. The tank is also able to carry a commander, infantry, and militia. Its point count is that of 20. With the militia, it can move 1 step along the board, as well as diagonally, with its capturing ability being the same as its movement capability. It's able to move across the river, and its point count is that of 10. With the engineer, it can move 1 step along the lines of the board, with its capture capability being the same as its movement capability. It also controls the airspace that has a radius of 1 point. The engineer is able to cross the river, carry other units over the river, and its point count is that of 10. With the artillery, it can move up to 3 steps found along the lines found on the board or diagonally, and is able to capture as part of its normal movement. But with that said, when capturing, it has to land upon the point of capture. It's also able to cross the river, but only as specific crossing points, is able to shoot at enemy piece found across the river, and it is able to be carried by the engineer. Its point count is that of 30. With the anti-aircraft gun, it can move 1 step along the lines found upon the board. When it comes to that of capturing at sea, the anti-aircraft gun stays in place, and it controls the airspace that has a radius of 1 point. The anti-aircraft gun is able to cross the river, but only as specific crossing zones and when shooting at enemy units found across the river, and is able to be carried by the engineer. Its point count is that of 10. With the missile, it can move 1 or 2 steps found along the lines or 1 step found diagonally. It controls the airspace that has a radius of 2 points, which manifests itself as 2 points along the lines or 1 point diagonally. If an enemy Air Force piece travels through this radius, then it'll be immediately captured. Its point count is that of 20. With the Air Force, it is able to move 1 to 4 steps along the lines found upon the board or diagonally, with its capturing capability being part of its movement. Unless it is captured by an opposing Air Force, the player is able to return to its point of departure. While it is capturing, the Air Force can return to its starting point as part of its movement. It also cannot pass through that of enemy airspace. Its point count is that of 40. With the Navy, it's found upon the sea and along the banks of both the sea and river, being able to move 1 to 4 steps. When capturing at part of its movement at sea, it can shoot 1 to 3 steps at a land target in all directions. The Navy will also have to move to a point of capture if its path of motion doesn't go across that of land. It also controls the airspace that has a radius of 1 point. Its point count is that of 80. With the headquarters, it's not able to move or engage in capture. In addition to this, its only purpose is to serve as protection for the commander. Its point count is that of 10. With the board, it is divided into land, which is printed in white, and water, which is printed in blue. With the wide water section that is found upon one side of the board, it is known as the sea, while the narrow strip of water that is dividing up the land is known as the river. In addition to this, there are 2 shallow reefs that are found upon the river, which allow all of the land pieces to freely cross the river, almost like Moses leading the Israelites across the Red Sea. With the lines, we're going to give them a number with the board's orientation having the sea found to that of the player's left, and we'll refer to this player as the red player and the opposing player as the blue player. Going from left to right, which we'll be referring to as the rank numbers, these numbers are 1 through 11, and going from bottom to top, which we'll be referring as the file numbers, these numbers are 1 through 12. On file 1, the red player is to place their commander upon rank 7. On file 2, the red player is to place their Navy upon rank 2, Air Force on rank 5, Headquarters on rank 6, Headquarters on rank 8, and Air Force on rank 9. On file 3, the red player is to place their artillery upon rank 4, militia upon rank 7, and artillery upon rank 10. On file 4, the red player is to place their Navy on rank 3, anti-aircraft gun on rank 5, tank on rank 6, tank on rank 8, and anti-aircraft gun on rank 9. And on file 5, the red player is to place their infantry on rank 3, engineer on rank 4, missile on rank 7, engineer on rank 10, and infantry on rank 11. On file 12, the blue player is to place their commander upon rank 7. On file 11, the blue player is to place their Navy upon rank 2, Air Force on rank 5, Headquarters on rank 6, Headquarters on rank 8, and Air Force on rank 9. On file 10, the blue player is to place their artillery upon rank 4, militia on rank 7, and artillery upon rank 10. On file 9, the blue player is to place their Navy on rank 3, anti-aircraft gun on rank 5, tank on rank 6, tank on rank 8, and anti-aircraft gun on rank 9. And on file 8, the blue player is to place their infantry on rank 3, engineer on rank 4, missile on rank 7, engineer on rank 10, and infantry on rank 11. In regards to the banks, where the land and water meet each other, they are able to be occupied by any piece. In regards to the Navy, they can only move within the sea and are never able to move upon the land. This is because they're aquatic vessels, not amphibious ones. The Navy is also unable to cross over the reefs. With the commander, infantry, tank, militia, and Air Force, they're able to freely cross the river at any point. But with the artillery, anti-aircraft gun, and missiles, they're only able to cross the river at the reefs. In regards to the artillery, anti-aircraft gun, and missiles, they're able to target an enemy piece that is located across the river. If they do this, they can freely cross the river in order to displace the captured piece. With the capturing of all pieces, it is done by displacing the enemy piece. With that said, land pieces can use their movement so that they can capture pieces found at sea, while sea pieces can capture pieces found on land. When either situation occurs, the attacking piece is to stay in the square it is attacking from, while the piece being attacked gets removed from the board as though it was captured. With the Air Force pieces, they can freely move over all of the pieces, and when it captures a piece that is other than an enemy Air Force piece, it has the option of returning to its point of departure as part of its same movement. There are also certain pieces that are allowed to be moved onto a carrying piece, followed by traveling with said carrying piece when it performs its movement. With the tank and Air Force pieces, they can carry the commander, infantry, and militia pieces, while the Navy piece can carry the commander, infantry, tank, and Air Force pieces. It is also possible for several pieces to be carried at once, leading them to be stacked upon the carrying unit. Once the carrying pieces and carried pieces have been stacked together, they are able to use their movement so that they can disembark, and to do so all at once on a single turn. With this multiple disembarkation, it has the possibility to engage in the capturing of one or more of the other pieces. With the Air Force, when carrying a passenger, it can fly to a given square, have its passenger disembark, and then return to its point of departure, with all of this occurring in a single turn. With a Navy ship that is equipped with torpedoes and artillery, these weapons are known as targeting ships and targeting land respectively. The Navy ship is allowed to fire both weapons, thus allowing it to capture 2 pieces on a single turn. When it comes to that of Navy and anti-aircraft guns, they are able to protect a small air zone that is equal to 1 point along the file and rank. When it comes to that of missiles, they protect a slightly larger air zone that is equal to 2 points found along the file and rank, along with 1 along the diagonal. When an enemy Air Force piece tries to fly through any of the protected air zones, it is immediately captured with the opposing player losing a turn because of it, and only the commander is able to enter the headquarters. While in the headquarters, the commander is protected from the militia, anti-aircraft gun, and missiles. But with that said, he isn't protected from the engineer, tank, artillery, and the Air Force. When it comes to that of the infantry, militia, anti-aircraft gun, and missiles, they're able to destroy the headquarters, but are unable to do the same with the commander in the same turn. When a piece places the opposing commander into check, then it becomes known as the heroic piece for the remainder of the game. Any piece that achieves heroic piece status is allowed to move and capture 1 additional point further than what they were able to do in their non-heroic state. On top of this, all heroic pieces are allowed to move diagonally. Regarding the heroic Air Force planes, they are able to fly through enemy airspace without being targeted by said pieces. So basically speaking, the heroic Air Force is protected from anti-aircraft gun, militia, and Navy pieces. If only we knew of a Vietnamese equivalent of the Red Baron. If you know of such a person, we would like to know. If using the point count system during any given game, it can be used to handle unresolved games as well as to evaluate the degrees of victory. With each piece that was captured, it awards the player who captured it the point value of said piece. On top of this, each heroic piece that is captured awards the capturing player an additional 10 points on top of the piece's base value. With a checkmate that doesn't involve the commander, it grants the winner an additional 100 points, while checkmating the commander will grant the winner an additional 200 points. So with that said, that is what you need to know about Ko2 Lenh. With that taken care of, we can start talking about Shatar. If you liked this episode, feel free to give it a like, and if you want to stay up to date on any future episodes we upload, go ahead and subscribe. You can also support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/checkpointgaming. See you in the next episode, and happy gaming.